all the way up to the 49-yard line of the Lee County Trojans.
Great job there by Klitschko, getting upfield, being patient, and let the blocks happen in front of you. He's usually in the game as the third running back. Watch the patience here before he turns on the jets. And as we know, once he gets out in the open field, he's as dangerous as his counterparts been in Irvin. Big play, especially against a Lee County team that takes pride in their special teams.
49-yard return. There's Dylan Whitkey, the 6'2", 210 sophomore at quarterback. You see his numbers on the season. 1,016 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. And the first play is a handoff. And a gain of 5 on the play for Gabe Irvin, the Nebraska signee. Here's a look at the Wolves up front, brought to you by Regions Bank. Time to expect more. Lowe, King, Archer, Favors, and Smith. Smith, the Army commit. And in the backfield, it's Irvin, Williams, Pope, Bond, and Peak is the tight end. And Jake Pope scored on a 76-yard touchdown pass on the opening play of the game against Valdosta in the semifinals. 2nd down and 5. Flag out. We're going to have a penalty on Lee County.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Well, pardon me. It was not encroachment. It was a false start.
Little movement on the line by Lee County in the middle of that defense, causing the tight end, Davis Peak, to get a little antsy. A lot of big nerves. Both of these teams understand the quality of player across the line of scrimmage. A physicality mentality is in this game. You already feel it, that both of these teams want to bully each other.
So 2nd down and 10. Flag out again. Whitkey runs for the first down, still on his feet. Whitkey might go the distance, and Whitkey scores the touchdown, but let's check the flag.
Early flag on this play.
So I have a feeling this one's coming back.
By the referee, look at shift. Flag really came flying before the play even got started, which typically means offensive movement or too many people on the field.
Illegal shift on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So that wipes out a long touchdown run by Dylan Whitkey.
Second play in a row for Buford. A little antsy, a lot of energy right now in this game for Buford, trying to get off the ball. And right there, even though it got called back, that's just to mention that Dylan Whitkey, when he's in there, we'll see Ashton Daniels as well. But Whitkey, very athletic and has good speed.
Yeah, they play 2 quarterbacks. Whitkey hands off to Irvin, and Gabe Irvin crashes down to the 44-yard line. Big hit by Andrew Willis in on that tackle, as well as Anthony McGrady as we take a look at Lee County on defense. Brought to you by Regions Bank. Sanders, Omar White is a 3'10 freshman. Malik Brackens, Bailey Hobson, and McGrady are the linebackers. 5-man secondary. Willis, Carter, Willis, Wynn, and Patrick. Jerron Willis. Florida and Auburn considered the leaders for that junior top 15 ranked safety. Whitkey to Wansley, and it is caught at the 44-yard line. Amari Wansley with the catch. Name familiar to Buford and Georgia fans. His cousin played there at Buford. Tim Wansley went on to star at Georgia, and then in the National Football League and played on John Gruden's Super Bowl team there in Tampa.
Coach Appling trying to decide whether to go forward here on 4th and 5, excuse me. Seems that the offense is staying out on the field.
Interesting.
Dylan Whitkey, if you're this Trojan defense, keep your eye on him. The ability to run this ball very easily, keep it and run with it.
And throwing low, and is that a catch or not? They're going to rule incomplete. Isaiah Bond could not come up with it, and the ball is going to go over on downs.
And that's one Wiki would love to have back. Good protection in the pocket. Just short arm the ball there, making that a difficult catch.
Oh, my goodness.
By Bond, and right there from that angle, it looks like a catch. Both arms under the ball. Not sure why the back line judge,
who didn't have an angle,
would have an angle on it, would make that call right there.
You can hear the Buford fans reacting to the replay on the big screen there at Center Park Stadium. The two angles that we just showed you looked like Bond made the catch. So the ball goes over on downs. And there's McDowell, the South Carolina signee, going to be dragged down by Wansley, the safety. And that's the thing that really stands out, and I know you commented on it. Those safeties are really good for the Buford Wolves. As we take a look at the starting lineup for Lee County on offense, Owen Brian Hall Sapp, that's the kid to watch, and Cleveland on that offensive line. McDowell, Roberts, Washington, he's a big junior safety. Ferguson and Goodwin. McDowell. Jake Pope, a chance to get him on the ground, and finally brought to the ground by the corner, Boyd Farmer, but a big run by Caleb McDowell.
We've talked about the Buford offensive line averaging about 280 across the board, and as we talked about in the open with Magwood.
It's Magwood, pardon me. Yep, you're right.
He is playing the position of quarterback, but we signed to play, or he signed to play with Kentucky as a receiver, so you know he has that dynamic athletic ability.
So it was Magwood with the 36-yard gain, and Magwood again on the run down to the 10-yard line. So Magwood, two big runs right here.
Once again, you see this offensive line of Lee County. They're playing on Buford's side of the ball. They are right now pushing this Buford defensive front. A little smallish in Wyatt and Wilson to go against this big offensive line. And that fullback, Marion Roberts, weighing about 300 pounds himself, number 33.
Magwood hops over a tackler inside the 10-yard line. There's number 33, Demarion Roberts, 6 foot, 335 junior. When William Perry played on offense, you know, they called him the refrigerator. He's the refrigerator, the stove, the dishwasher, the entire kitchen.
6 feet, 330, and must have nimble feet to be trying to play that position in the up position, making these blocks. But right now, getting pushed off the ball is his Buford defensive line.
Nothing doing that time. McDowell gets swarmed under. That's led by Malik Spencer. And 4th down, let's see if Lee County opts for a field goal attempt here.
Tommy Bugles right here slicing through. You're going to have to meet these fullbacks and tight ends, these up guys is blocking. You're going to have to meet them in the backfield. Great job of Tommy Bugles cutting through that gap between the center and the guard on the pull and making that big stop to create this field goal.
And Collins, no good. Pushed it off to the left. And so Lee County gets down close, but comes up empty. And we're still scoreless. 5.5 minutes in. Buford and Lee County, the Georgia Pecan Commission, and pecan farmers from Georgia grow a naturally delicious snack that is packed with antioxidants. Generations of Georgians have snacked on homegrown local pecans. Pecans from Georgia, proud supporter of high school athletics. This is Georgia's Nut. So Buford goes on offense for a second time with the ball placed at the 20, following the 25-yard missed field goal attempt by Alex Collins.
Which of these two quarterbacks can deliver the ball downfield, take advantage of your run game on the play action. You got to make those plays when called upon if you're Dylan Wicke.
And you saw Jerron Willis, who we talked about off the top, number 6, the safety. He wanted to get a running start at the quarterback.
Has to do a lot.
First down.
Has to do a lot is Jerron Willis, as you can see, dropping in. He goes back and forth from that linebacker safety position. He's 230 pounds. And I loved how Coach Fabrizio talked about when he gets off the bus. You definitely know a football player has arrived.
He looks the part and plays the part just as well. 1st and 5. Olawole in motion behind the line for Buford. And now pressure creeping up on the near edge. And again, we have a whistle.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So they give the 5 right back.
Peyton Rinker out on the edge of that tight end position. A little nervous. You start seeing Jerron Willis creep up on you with the kind of size and speed that he has. Uncomfortable when he starts moving up, thinking he's coming with the blitz off the edge. Dylan Wicke, got to keep your eyes on Willis. Coming off the edge to your right.
Victor Venn gets the carry. Venn was our Georgia Cotton Commission player of the game in their semifinal victory against Valdosta. As we take a look at the Buford resume, 11 state championships from 2001 to 2019. They won their first in 1978. At least 10 victories, 20 straight seasons, 7 15-0 seasons, 250 victories since 1999, and 30 region championships. Another flag. And just going back to that Buford resume real quick, that's why I've referred to them as pound for pound the best team in the state. They've won in every classification.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And now they're up to 6A. It's like a boxer who starts out as a flyweight and works his way up to heavyweight.
And when you talk about Buford, they've become so prestigious that when you mention their name, everybody eyes light up, knowing about how successful their football program right now, beating themselves, putting themselves behind the stick. Offensive line, offensive guard there jumping. We've seen the tight ends jumping. You got to start playing at that championship level and not beat yourself.
Pressure coming. Whitkey runs by it and has the first down. Tackled by Quavian Carter, who is no small kid himself. 6'4", 205. Man, they got some big safeties on that back line.
Nice blocking, nice pull there by Favors getting around. Dylan Wicke, only a sophomore. He averages a little over 5 yards a carry when he does decide to run the ball. He's 6'2", 210, so he's built to be able to play in a physical game right there like this. But across the board, physically, this Lee County defense just has size and speed.
Whitkey bobbles it. In trouble, fumbled again, and an offensive lineman did something right today because it rolled right to him. What a lucky break for Buford right there. And that was Davis Peak, the tight end, who was laying there face down, and the ball rolled right into his hands.
Snap a little low. You can see Whitkey go down and get it. Never really gathered himself, and by the time he got the ball corralled, he got hit. Big break for Buford, but right now they are struggling to play Buford ball, which is physical, smart football where they stay in front of the sticks. 2nd and 18, just where this Lee County defense wants you.
Timeout, Buford. That's their first.
So Buford burns their first time out, and really kind of an uneven start here for Buford, making a lot of uncharacteristic small mistakes that to this point have derailed any kind of attempt to establish any kind of rhythm and continuity on offense.
Consistent winning is done by not beating yourself. That's how you continue to win as many games and win as many trophies, going for their 13th state championships. You don't beat yourself, and right now everything that is happening wrong for Buford, they are doing offensively to themselves.
Well, Buford has been the team to beat in the state for the last 20 years. Lee County, a newcomer to that scene over the last 5 years, is really how they have ascended to that level in this state. State champions 2017 and 18, record since 2017, 52-5. 2 10-win seasons in their first 46 years. But what they have done since then, they have become a state championship contender under head coach Dean Fabrizio. 4 straight region titles. Meantime, Buford, 5 penalties in the first 8 minutes and 14 plays of this game. Complete to Irvin. Irvin tripped up shy of the line to gain at the 36-yard line. Let's send it down to Nikki Noto-Palmer.
Matt, Wayne, you guys were just talking about the size and speed of Lee County's defense. Well, we were talking to Coach Fabrizio. He said, look, defensive game plan is pretty obvious, but we got to limit those big plays from their tailbacks, especially play-action play in the yards after catch. And that's what you're seeing right now. Lee County starting to get it done. This is indeed an uncharacteristic start by Buford's offense.
3rd down and 5, Nikki, with the ball at the 36-yard line. Whitkey in trouble, dumps it off, complete. Not going to be enough for the first down. Play got blown up by Andrew Willis.
Nice job by Willis, sniffing that out. Little rollout, cut short, pressure off the edge. Once again, Jaron Willis bearing down on Whitkey, not able to get outside of him. Had to deliver the ball early to the tight end. There's just no running room after the catch. Nice job by Willis.
Daniels punting. He's the backup quarterback. It's taken at the 24. McDowell stopped at the 32, and that's where we'll see the Trojans go on offense for the second time in this game.
Nice job there by the special teams. That's going to be key for Buford. This Lee County return game, kicks, punt returns, have scored 6 touchdowns this year. And no one is better in 6A than McDowell returning the ball, averaging 32 on kick returns and 25 on punt returns.
So 1st and 10 for Lee County at the 33. Magwood to the air, whips it to the far side, and it is caught at the 42-yard line. Pickup of 9 on the play. Javel Ferguson with the grab.
This Buford defensive line is going to have to match the intensity up front. Rylan Gandy out on the edge. One thing that this Buford defense can do, they can match up with you and play man-to-man. Nice throw and catch there by Magwood.
2nd and 1. Magwood runs for the first down as he picked up a couple of yards on the play. And that'll move the sticks for Lee County. Now, Magwood started the season as the quarterback. Then he had some shoulder issues, and they moved him to wide receiver, promoted their 6'6" senior Smith Pinson, who's a better passer. Nobody questions that. But then Pinson suffered a hand injury, and they had to put Magwood back in there.
And since being back in the lineup, his head coach talked about he's more confident. He knows where he wants to go with the ball.
And as that intercepted, it is Malik Spencer. Magwood tried to jam it into a tight spot, And Malik Spencer, the junior linebacker, comes up with the pick.
Going for the quick slant was Magwood. Just not seeing Malik Spencer there. As you can see, just a quick slant. Trying to get it out. Nice job of Spencer backing up once he saw Magwood about to throw the ball.
After the play was over. Unsportsmanlike. Buford. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. 1st and 10, Buford.
You know, they gave him the penalty for spinning the football after he got the interception.
Nice read by Spencer, jumping in the pass lane. Magwood trying to get the ball to Ferguson, and right there. I know you've been watching the game on Sunday where you can get away with that, but they're not going to let you do that in high school football. Just can't have those kind of mistakes and set your offense back against this kind of defense.
Pass complete to Wansley. And Wansley gets hit hard at the 47-yard line and driven out of bounds by Barron Hobson.
Barron Hobson, a downhill middle linebacker, but has that speed to play sideline to sideline. Big time player, bright future for him. Hasn't decided where he wants to go yet, but he is a heck of a player. So physical in the middle with him and Jaron Willis.
2nd down and 5. This is Jake Pope. First touch for him in the game, and he got crushed at the 48-yard line, but he picks up the first down. Barron Hobson again in on that tackle.
Trying to get to the outside, little jet sweep action to Jake Pope. And thank you right there is Barron Hobson coming from the middle of the field. He's a big-time hitter now. He seeks out contact. And when we're talking about size, we're talking about at the linebacker, the safety, the corner positions. This Lee County's as big as anyone that I've seen this year in those positions.
1st and 10. Victor Venn. There he goes. All the way down to the 9-yard line.
We talked about one of the keys for this Lee County defense to have success is not to let Victor Venn, Gabe Irvin, kill him with the big play from the backfield. And Victor Venn, last time we saw him a couple of days ago, impressed us. And right now he's up to his old tricks again.
And that is the end of the first quarter. Victor Venn breaks off a big run. The Wolves in position to score when we come back and start the second quarter on the other side of this break. As we start this second quarter, but the Wolves are in position as they take over at the 9-yard line following that 38-yard run by Victor Venn.
Got to keep your eye on Dylan Whitkey in these situations, pulling the ball.
Ashton Daniels is now in there at quarterback. How about that? They'll change quarterbacks just like that, right in midstream, in the middle of a potential touchdown scoring drive. They'll bring in a new quarterback. It's the darndest things. A lot of coaches are reticent to do anything like that. Not Coach Applin.
Yeah, I talked to him about that. You know, in the big game, are you going to get with the hot hand and ride it? And that quickly, he pulled a Houdini on us and stuck Ashton Daniels in there. More of a thrower of the ball than Whitkey.
And you might remember as a sophomore, he led them to the comeback victory in the state championship game last year. Venn reaches for the goal line. He got the ball across, but he was down at the 1.
Not sure Venn didn't get this ball in. Looks like when he went to extend his arm, he was laying on top of the defender here. A little counter action, small but powerful, and right there, I'm not sure that he doesn't reach out.
In the NFL,
and his hip did not hit the ground. Before he reached that ball over.
In the NFL, they're calling that, college football too, they're calling that a touchdown. So it's 3rd down and goal from the 1. Daniels hands off, and Irvin did not get in. And we're going to have 4th and goal coming up here.
Jaron Willis once again coming off the edge. We have a flag here. This game is already a little chippy. You would never think that this was the first time these two teams have met. They're playing. They have me sweating in here.
They're playing like they
there's
don't
a lot
like
for
each other.
stake.
Yeah.
A lot on.
After the play was over, personal foul on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. 4th down.
And it's still 4th down.
Big call here for Brian Appling. You pride yourself on the ability to run the ball. Be very surprised in this situation if he doesn't get downhill with one of these top backs of Venn and Irving in this situation.
4th and goal from the half-yard line. Buford trying to put the first score on the board here. Whitkey got pushed by the fullback, Caden Williams, right into the end zone. Touchdown, Buford. Actually, Ashton Daniels on the touchdown.
No surprise at all. You're talking about a team that feels like they are the bullies on the back. And right there, Caden Williams, number 18, working on his bench press, just pressing Ashton Daniels into the end zone. Nice drive there by Buford.
That was a 200-pound bench press right there, because Daniels goes 200. Ashton Daniels crashes in for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. And Alejandro Mata, who as a 10th grader kicked at Lee County, puts it through. Buford on top 7-0.
Half-inch yard line. You knew Buford was probably going to go for it. Ashton Daniels, 6'3", 200. He's long. You can see him getting behind his pads and waiting on his buddy, Caden Williams, just to give him a lift into the end zone. After early stumbles of beating themselves with penalties, Buford getting back to what they pride themselves on, and that's being able to run the ball against any front and any team.
Well, let me tell you, Ashton Daniels has ice water in his veins. Last year as a sophomore, came off the bench. He had thrown only 13 passes, I think, the entire season. Came off the bench and led Buford from behind and to an overtime victory over Warner Robins in the 5A state championship game. So big games, big moments. You talking about 4th and goal from the 1, that's nothing. He's been there, done that.
And this combination of Whitkey and Daniels have been superb. A lot of times when you take a guy like Daniels and put him behind someone, there's some infighting. They've worked great as a tandem.
Can't say that I would have responded the same way. Great return by McDowell like a rocket, and Lee County scores the touchdown. And you know Shane Beamer's saying, "Thank you, Lord," that Caleb McDowell didn't bail on our recruiting class like everybody else, and that he signed with the Gamecocks.
We talked about Mr. McDowell in the open. He's electrifying in the special teams game right there, untouched, once out in the open field, just going for a little stroll there, 95 yards for the touchdown. Talked about his ability. We know running the ball, he's close to 1,300 yards from the running back position. But his ability returning the ball is what makes this team so dangerous.
Wayne, I'm going to make a prediction.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike, Lee County. That penalty will be administered on the kick. Touchdown's good.
You know, I'm about to get on my soapbox here in a moment. About to get on my soapbox here in a moment, but 95-yard kick return touchdown for Caleb McDowell. We're tied at 7.
No better way to answer. Buford drives the ball down, punches it in with Ashton Daniels. The next play on the kickoff. Caleb McDowell, a guy that this Buford team has talked about all week long in this return game, does it again. Very interesting that you would kick him the ball. Look at the blocking up front. We're talking about his speed. What an alleyway and an escort to go 95 yards. Coach Fabrizio talked about his special teams was special, and they've already, only 2 minutes into the second quarter, shown you the effect they can have on a game.
So my prediction is that's the last time we'll see Buford kick it deep tonight. That's my bold prediction.
Some squib kicks coming up next.
And my other one is, and I've been on this soapbox before, I'm not a big fan of the celebration penalty. I know the officials are just following the rule book, so I'm not cracking down on them. But, you know, unless it's just egregious and you're up in somebody's face, it's the state championship game, for goodness sakes. It's the only time a lot of these kids will be in a state championship game. Let the emotions play out a little bit. So that's just my soapbox opinion about that.
And in making a little room, I'll get up on the soapbox with you. I feel the same about that kind of situation. It's one thing if you go do it in front of the opponent or it takes a long time. But right there, McDowell just backed into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this is the return by Jake Pope. He's going backwards and gets slammed to the ground at the 32-yard line. And again, I'm not beating on the officials here. They're just following the rule book. So I guess what I'm saying is we need to vote and change that rule book.
Nice job there of Quavion Carter on the special teams, running Jake Pope down. A lot of feel in front of Pope if he could get to that corner. Now if you're Buford, got to shake the kick return off and go back to work. You're starting to get the run game going. And you're Ashton Daniels, when your number is called to deliver in the pass game, you got to show up.
And Victor Vinn on the run, and he gets close to 10 yards on the play. Victor Vinn is a special running back. We saw that firsthand last week against Valdosta. He's got 10 offers, including Georgia Tech, Kentucky, and Virginia Tech.
And he's starting to remind me of a Cadillac Williams from Armac. Guy, you don't really expect that kind of physicality from him, but he can absorb some hits and keep the pile moving.
So odd that the Auburn Tigers.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Lee County. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Well, so odd that the Auburn Tigers alumnus here would compare him to Cadillac Williams. But let's check in with Nikki real quick. What you got to say, Nikki?
Victor Vinn, he just lights up talking about him. He said he's the fastest kid on the team. He'll run through those tackles. He's super tough, but he loves on his teammates, and more importantly, he shows up every day the same guy. He said, I can't stand when kids show up different every day. I love knowing what I'm getting from them.
No doubt, no moodiness from Victor Vinn.
I think we're going to have Buford again, a false start.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Third time in this game they've had a false start. The offensive line and tight ends just don't seem to be very comfortable when Jaron Williams or Eric Sanders line up as though they're going to go out in pass coverage and start creeping up on the line. It's making his offensive line and tight end group a little antsy. You can't continue to beat yourself. You see 7 penalties already for 40 yards for Buford.
I'd be a little apprehensive myself. Daniels in the pocket, shooting downfield, intended for Bond. And Another flag before the play.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
And I agree with you, Wayne. I think it's the apprehension. Lee County's creeping up, showing pressure, and those offensive linemen are reacting to that.
Bringing the pressure off the edge with big physical guys that you know already bring a lot of edge pressure. But you just wouldn't expect that this late in the season. Championship game, 4 seniors on that offensive line. You got to sit in there, be patient, cut down your split, and trust your technique.
Now 1st and 20. Here comes the pressure. Daniels gets it out of there. Caught. Bond. Touchdown, Buford.
What an arm display right there by Ashton Daniels. Played a 4 with the false start. You see all him try Isaiah Bond down the field here, throwing it between 2 defenders on a post route out on the edge, play action fake. We talked about him have to be able to take advantage of that run game and holding those safeties with the play action fake. And a nice throw by him to drop that in on between 2 defenders.
That was a pretty ball out of the hands of Ashton Daniels. 10th touchdown pass of the season, but we have a flag down. Let's check the call. Does it erase the touchdown?
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Buford. Lee County is taking it on the kick. Touchdown's good.
Well, I've already said my piece.
Big time game. Players showing up big so far. Big plays. The scoring has been done through basically big plays. And got to control your emotions. You see how the referees are going to call the game. Now you have to make that adjustment and not beat your team.
Mata puts it through, and Buford with a 14-7 lead. You're exactly right, Wayne. You got to adapt to the officials. Bond with the touchdown catch, and Buford back on top. 15-7, Buford on top, following the 53-yard touchdown pass from Ashton Daniels to Isaiah Bond. A 2-play, 68-yard drive. Following the shorter kickoff, which precipitated our previous celebration penalty on the kickoff return by Caleb McDowell. And now Buford will have to kick from their 25-yard line following yet another celebration penalty.
Well, what an answer by Buford after the big kickoff return by McDowell to go out, drive the ball, and come up with your own big play down the field to take back the momentum.
Let's see how they kick it this time. They kick it an angle to the 34-yard line, and McDowell gets it again. Watch out. McDowell all the way down to the 32-yard line.
And you're trying to angle kick right there to keep it away from him. But the ball stayed in the air so long, he was able to run over and make an adjustment. You really do have to start considering maybe swift kicking this ball and just not let him have any time and any. You're holding your breath if you're Buford once he gets the ball in his hand, not just because of his ability, but how you see the return team blocking. It's a great job out there by Lee County.
8 first downs, 14 penalties, 3 touchdowns. McDowell, make it 4 touchdowns. No one near him at all.
Big time players, big time game. 2 teams come in 12-1, championship pedigree. And the battle has started here. Good blocking. Look at the blocking up front by this offensive line. Hall, Sapp, Cleveland, Green, Ryan, a walk-in touchdown there by the most dangerous man for Lee County, Caleb McDowell.
And we're tied again just like that. 14-14. And Caleb McDowell makes it look easy. No one touched him.
Just zone blocking to the right. Both team safeties up, trying to stop the run. And that's the danger when you're selling out to stop the run. There's nobody back there on the back end. Just zone blocking by the offensive line, getting in the alleyway, and untouched, he walked into the end zone.
I think the closest person to him was Nikki. Well, I think you were the closest person to him, Nikki.
Oh, Wayne, you gotta love watching this offensive line for Lee County. Am I right? What I loved is when the big fellas came off the field, everyone was bumping them. Of course, McDowell was getting some love too, but the offensive line getting all the love. Everybody going, hey y'all, we getting a ring tonight? The excitement on the Lee County sideline is unmatched right now.
Yeah, I don't know who's getting a ring tonight, but I know whoever does will deserve it. What a game so far. And Jake Pope, the return up to the 30-yard line, and yes, there is a flag on the field.
During the return, block in the back, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And the one thing so far, Matt, that I'm loving about this game, both of these teams seem to have a laser focus towards beating the other team. They're making a lot of mistakes and penalties here and there, but they are engaged, and I feel the intensity. And we're in the studio that these two teams came here to win a championship.
The other thing is Gamecock fans across the Southeast are like, oh boy, there's hope for 2021. And right now he's wearing number 5 for Lee County. Gabe Irvin picks up 4 yards on the play. Next week, Gabe Irvin will be in Lincoln, Nebraska, starting his college football career with the Cornhuskers. Such is the craziness of this 2020 season.
Big time player, Gabe Irvin, sharing the backfield with Victor Venn. Both backs, Victor Venn over 1,000 yards, Gabe Irvin close to it.
Irvin again changes arms. Big run for Gabe Irvin. Cedric Wynn, the corner, who's been offered by South Alabama, made the tackle.
Nice blocking up front. Look at the feet right there in the vision to get to the outside. Great technique, shifting the ball, using that arm. Look at the blocking up front. Watch him switch this ball to get an extra 4 or 5 yards with the stiff arm. We used to call it the Marcus Allen. Now they're calling it the Derrick Henry.
It was a 24-yard pickup. And now Victor Venn gets 8 yards. The only difference is when Derrick Henry throws out that stiff arm, he snaps back your head. I got a chance to see Derrick Henry his senior year at Yulee High School.
Okay.
Playing against Jacksonville First Coast back in the old CSS days. We did that game. And man, you talking about a man among boys.
And it seems like on Sunday, a lot of times it's still man.
It hasn't changed. Yeah, it really hasn't changed. Clinkscales runs for the first down, flag out. They'll throw another flag. There was a face mask at the end of the play.
We have a holding by the tight end, Rinker. But at the end of that play, you can see Clinkscales' face mask get yanked down. A lot of penalties in this first half. But so far, the players don't seem to be reacting to the bad plays. They're playing through them.
Holding on the offense. Face mask on the defense. Those penalties offset. Replay, second down.
Right here, trying to get to the edge, 87. Peyton Rinker just grabbing the jersey, and as hands together, you can see the hands to the face. We saw Victor Venn last week, a play before this. We saw Gabe Irvin and Clint Scale. Great technique when they get on the boundary, using that offhand as a weapon, that stiff arm. Very well coached, but you expect that from a Buford Wolves running back.
Yeah, Clint Scales is the number 3 running back. He's only been offered by West Virginia and Colorado. Baron Hobson drops Whitkey before he can get to the line to gain.
Both teams just going at it. Physical offensive line, bodies falling everywhere. Big runs all around. We knew it would be a wheel versus wheel mentality. Both teams will win in the same kind of fashion. Physical, hard-nosed football for Lee County and Buford.
Close to 200 yards offense for Buford, 14 runs, 6 pass. Run number 15 will not get the first down because Mr. Baron Hobson is in the middle.
The word downhill typically goes with your running back. But Baron Hobson right here, this is what you call a downhill middle linebacker, built for the part, 5'11", 220, perfectly built for that position. And oh, by the way, a 4.0 GPA. Smart middle linebacker with physicality.
You know, he reminds me a little bit of Sam Mills. Carolina Panthers. They're going for it on 4th down, incomplete.
A.J. Patrick, number 18, sniffing that out all the way. A big camel there by Buford. Nice job of Patrick coming up here. Ashton Daniels still in, trying to get the quick pass out. And actually, the Buford receiver didn't really seem like he was expecting to pass on that.
That was Eli Parks. So the ball over on downs. Lee County takes over the Buford 47-yard line. And our first carry of the night for their number 2 back, Preston Simmons. Let's check in with Nikki.
Hey, Matt, you know, you guys were talking there about Baron Hobson. And first of all, let me just throw this out there. His mom, Camilla, is in the House of Representatives, so you know he keeps him in line. But anyway, Coach Fabrizio, he said, look, it seems like this kid, he's been playing forever. He's still only 17 years old. He's young for his grade. He also said he was the only sophomore to start on the 2018 team, which is one of the all-time great teams in Georgia history, especially that defense.
I remember I called their state championship victory against Northside Warner Robins in 2018. They had a smothering defense. You just couldn't do anything against it. I remember Hobson starting as a sophomore, and he's got some choices to make. Will not sign until the February National Signing Day. But Hobson, 14 offers, Georgia Tech, Cincinnati, Indiana, Nebraska, Duke, East Carolina considered his leaders. So he's got some decisions to make. Any of those schools will be happy to have a paper for him to sign. 3rd down and 4. Magwood, 1st down run.
And that's the dimension if you're Buford in this defense. You have to remember that Chauncey Magwood is going to the next level as a receiver. Not comfortable with what he sees, feels that pressure off the edge by Josiah Wyatt. Showing the wheels there. As we talked about, receiver athleticism. You got to keep your eyes and stay in your rush lanes when you attack him.
Simmons. Stopped right there at the line of scrimmage by Josiah Wyatt.
He's been playing lights out for Buford here in the playoffs. Long, 6'3", about 220, junior. Plays at that outside end position, but very willing to go inside and mix it up.
2nd down and 9. Magwood going to keep, and gets thrown to the ground by UCF signee Matthew Alexander.
Nice job of Alexander working down the line of scrimmage, and you can see right there he attacked Magwood on that as though he was a running back. Sometimes your mentality of who you're attacking takes over. He's had a lot of success running the ball. For you now to figure out, I got to go at him to get him down and pull him down immediately.
3rd down and 8. Chauncey Magwood can do so many things to beat you. Pass, run, even catch. And a timeout called by Lee County. And that'll be
timeout.
their
Lee County.
second.
That's their first.
Oh, their first, pardon me. Millions of dollars are left on the table each year because students don't submit their FAFSA form. The Georgia Student Finance Commission urges high school seniors needing college financial aid to complete their FAFSA. More at gafutures.org. Most of these players we've been talking about won't have need for that FAFSA, and they're going to get full ride scholarships. But for the rest of those, like me, gafutures.org. 3rd down and 8 coming up.
This Buford defense, this is what you want. We talked about in one of the keys, force Lee County and Chauncey Magwood into 3rd and long situations. But the key to that, as we have seen, is not to let him get outside of the pocket. Make him work from the pocket and deliver the ball. You can't let him pick up this 3rd and 8 with his feet.
McDowell in motion. Magwood going to run it. Runs right into the arms of Aubrey Smith, the junior linebacker. 13 offers, including Georgia, Georgia Tech, and Alabama.
Nice job of Smith. Little counter action right there, following the left guard. Good tackle. You see 3 or 4 bodies. He's starting to get the attention of the defense. And you figure with that run, they was just trying to get a couple of yards to set up a 4th and short, a 4th and makeable. You still have to keep your eyes on Magwood in this situation of getting outside the pocket.
They got to get 6 here. And now a timeout.
Timeout, Lee County. That's their second.
So 1 remaining for the Trojans. Dean Fabrizio, he has accounted for 104 of the program's 223 all-time wins. That means in the 38 seasons before he got there, the program won 119 games. They've won 104 in the 12 since he got there. Lee County has turned the playoff postseason into a second season. They started in 14 and 16, got to the second round, and then in 17 they broke through, winning the 6A title, beating Coffee County in overtime. And then in 18, the game I was referencing a few moments ago, smothered Northside Warner Robins 14-0, beaten by Decula in the quarters last year, but they are back in the title game this year. Beat Tucker 49-17 in the first round, Brunswick 48-21 in the second, 49-31 over previously unbeaten River Ridge in the quarters, and then last week took out Westlake 35-14.
Trusting his offense in this situation. In that dead man zone, too far for a field goal try. You might as well try to pick it up here.
And that is a first down. Great throw by Magwood. Back shoulder catch by Ferguson.
Nice throw and catch there. Big receiver, 6'1", 190 out on the edge. Nice job, back shoulder throw. Good play action fake by the front line. Nice job of pirouetting to keep his feet in bound there by Ferguson.
For a backup quarterback or a wide receiver, he's not a bad quarterback. And McDowell tripped over Magwood's foot, and his knee must have hit the ground because they blew the play dead immediately.
These guys have practiced that 1,000 times this season. Not sure that the whistle should have been blown. I didn't see anybody on knees hit the ground.
I think he kept his balance. He got his foot. I mean, he got his hand down in the ground to keep his knee from hitting. You can see he's shaking his head. My knee didn't touch the ground. Second down and 13. They lost 3 on that play. Now Magwood coming to the near side. He's going to have to go down rather than get crushed by Aubrey Smith. And now it's third down. The clock continues to run. Remember, Lee's got 1 timeout remaining here, probably holding that in their back pocket if they need to get their field goal unit on.
Nice job by Nick Perry, number 11, keeping that outside leverage. And you can see Chauncey Magwood, once he realized he wasn't going to get to that corner, a lot of bodies. He's starting to have a bullseye on his chest. A lot of bodies headed toward him. Did the best bet of getting down.
Third and 15. Magwood to the air. Long throw complete to McDowell and driven out of bounds just shy of the 10. And now it's fourth down again. Do you kick the field goal here or try to pick up the 2 yards?
BJ Payne here with the coverage. Nice route running there by McDowell. Always dangerous with the ball in his hand. Good job of Payne using the sideline, getting him out and forcing this fourth and short.
They already missed a 25-yarder, so they're going for it on 4th and 4. And timeout called by Buford.
Timeout. Buford. That's their second.
You a little surprised they're going for it here on 4th and 4, even though they did miss the chip shot field goal earlier?
Very surprised. Points are at a premium. You can tell in this game. You're 37 seconds away from the half. It's 4th and 4. If it was 4th and 1 or 2, you still are facing a defense that has been stellar this year, only giving up 8 points a game, leading the best in 6A. In this situation, a lot of momentum you give up if they stop you here going in for the half.
I agree with that assessment in totality. You know, 4th and 4, that's a long 4. That's 12 feet. And down here, 12 feet can be hard to get.
They line up with their heavy package. 2 fullbacks in the backfield.
McDowell going to throw the pass up for Magwood, who caught it. No, he could not hold on. So a trick play with McDowell throwing the pass to Magwood, and they come up empty.
Very interesting call. Magwood, and you can see right there, Caleb McDowell kind of bobbled the ball when he went to throw it. Rylan Gandy on the coverage trying to get his head around. Magwood showing you his receiver skills. Almost coming, just could not hold on to the ball. He does have that foot down, never fully had control and lost it right there.
Yeah, you got to be able to take the ball to the ground. If Fabrizio is unhappy about that, you got to take the ball to the ground, and he didn't. You got to have possession, take it to the ground.
Timeout, Lee County.
I think
That's their third and
Fabrizio,
final.
he keeps pointing to that big board. I'm guessing that's his argument, but I don't think he's got a beef here because it was clear he did not control the thing.
He wants the ref to take a look at the board.
I mean, I know what his argument is. His argument is the ground caused the ball to pop out, but on a reception, you got to take it to the ground and control it, possess it to the ground, and he didn't do that.
No, he did not, Magwood. He seemed like he had the tip of the football, but he never really secured it. And that's why even once he hit the ground, the ball popped out very easy. Interesting call by Lee County. We do know Chauncey Magwood is a receiver, but to choose to go with Caleb McDowell to throw that kind of pass, not a lot of room for error on that pass.
So the ball goes over on downs. The score remains 14-14. And Gabe Irvin barely gets back to the line of scrimmage on what may have been the final play of the first half.
What an intense first half.
I'm worn out already.
It seems like we need everybody needs to go to the locker room for a minute.
Someone got a towel for me. I need to cool down. Go to our corner, spit bucket, the whole thing. Wow, what a first half. Heavyweight battle. Lee County and Buford living up to the billing just as we anticipated with these two great programs. Been locked 1 and 2 in the top spot in the rankings virtually the entire season. And they head to the locker room tied at 14.
Two physical teams with a lot of talent, very well coached. Both teams are going to have a long talk in the halftime about the penalties. Clean up a few areas and don't beat yourself, but what a heavyweight fight we have here.
Extraordinary day of football started with Callaway defeating Fitzgerald in the AA championship game, then Marist pulling away from Jefferson late to win the 4A state championship. And now, as we head to the locker room here in the 6A title game, no closer to determining who will win the championship. We'll send it down to Nikki.
We're waiting for Coach to get his mask on. Following the rules down here. Coach, physical first half battle of these two teams, but we got to talk about that 4th and 4 trick play we just saw, settled for a turnover on downs. What are your thoughts?
Well, it looked to us and everybody in the stands like he caught the ball, but the call didn't go our way, so we're going to have to overcome that right there. It looked like he got his foot down. It really wasn't a trick play. We just threw a fade route to our quarterback who played receiver last year, and we thought he got down, but the call didn't go our way, so we got to overcome that.
Yeah, well, Coach, your offense have still, they've been churning out some big plays. McDowell, 2 touchdowns. What are your thoughts on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, we're moving the ball well, but the game's everything we thought it would be. Buford's got a great football team. We've got a great football team, and right now, it's a knockdown, drag-out heavyweight fight. It's everything we thought, and it's going to be a 48-minute war just like we thought coming into this game.
Absolutely. What are your concerns about Buford right now?
Well, we've got to do a better job of slowing down the run plays. Obviously, they hit that big pass on us. We've got to shore that up. And other than that, we just got to be consistent moving the football and take advantage of opportunities. We missed a field goal. We had a 4th down we didn't convert on there, so we've just got to take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. But, Buford's got a great football team, and it's everything we thought it would be this first half. It's a great football game between two great teams. My hat's off to Buford, and I expect it to be a great second half.
Well, we're not over yet. One more half to go. Thanks for your time, Coach. All right, Hannah, I'm sending it to you, girlfriend, for halftime. We've got a good one going on down here.
2021, no doubt about that. But what a great Tuesday night in Atlanta. The weather has been perfect. It is a super night weather-wise for football.
Two teams known for winning state titles. Lee County going for their 3rd in 4 years. Buford trying to go back-to-back as state champs, and they're playing at an intense physical level. Who can control their emotions and execute in this second half?
Determination on the faces of the Lee County Trojans as Buford tees it up and ready to kick off. Mata going to kick deep, or squib kick it. Third quarter kickoff is brought to you by Buckle Up Georgia. Buckle Up Georgia, seatbelts save lives. And away we go. 24 minutes at least to decide the 6A state champion. Gonna chip this one down the field. It's fielded and dropped at the 30-yard line. And going backwards, Willis on the play. We'll see where they spot it. His forward motion was the 30. We'll see where they put it down on the ground for the Lee County offense to start here.
Nice job by the kicker, Mata. We saw after the big return by McDowell, Mata tried to pooch the ball on that next kickoff and put too much air on it. The ball landed back in McDowell's hands again. Nice job right there. No air and very little return on that kickoff.
You see the missed opportunities for Lee County in that first half. A missed 25-yard field goal. Then they turned the ball over on downs at the 10-yard line. Downfield complete to Caleb McDowell.
Affecting the game just as advertised as McDowell, whether it's running, whether it's flexed out in the receiving game. Nice ball right there by Magwood. We know what he can do athletically as a receiver, but right now he's been showing in these last couple of completions some nice ball, nice route there by McDowell to get open.
Second catch of the game for McDowell. Also has 60 yards rushing and a 95-yard kick return for touchdown. And Magwood, they string him along to the sideline and drop him right there in his tracks.
River Wilson, 51 on that edge. Good penetration by him to shut that play down. Pushing the right tackle, Zach Cleveland, into the backfield. This offensive line, regarded as head coach Dean Fabrizio talked about, maybe his best offensive line at Lee County. Have been handling so far, but adjustments have been made for the second half.
Magwood scrambling, in trouble, sack. River Wilson, the defensive end, 6'1", 235 junior with the QBS.
Coming alive, play action fake, short drop, just nowhere to go with the ball. And that's the kind of effort this Wolves defense plays with to create a 3rd and 21 for a team that's not really big at throwing the ball.
72 yards passing for the Trojans in that first half. This will likely be their second attempt. Up top they go, long ball, wobbly ball down the field. It's caught by Ferguson. Touchdown, Lee County.
Chauncey Magwood stepping up to the challenge. Really, there's no play in a 3rd and 21 situation. Just going with a 50-50 ball down the left sideline here. Only a 3-man rush. Good protection by the offensive line, able to step into the throw. Ball a little wobbly, and you see the cornerback there on the coverage, trying not to get called for the penalty, kind of stopping on the play there on Ferguson and letting him score the touchdown.
Touchdown catch by Javel Ferguson. Magwood goes up top. Wasn't the prettiest pass, but it was effective. And the Trojans on top in Atlanta. First time tonight, Lee County on top. Couple of big pass plays in that 4-play, 73-yard drive. First 38 yards to Caleb McDowell to get him across midfield. And then the 46-yard touchdown pass to that young man right there, Javel Ferguson.
Good protection, just kind of throwing this ball up. Double coverage. Amari Wansley and Malik Williams on the coverage. And Malik Williams, the cornerback, kind of gave up on the play, not trying to get the penalty. And a nice adjustment on the ball by JaVale Ferguson to come up with the big touchdown to start this second half.
Alex Collins with the kickoff, a nice high kick that Pope's going to take at the 1-yard line. And I tell you the one thing that they're doing so well on their kick coverage is Collins gets so much air underneath the ball on his kicks. It's almost like a punt. And that's why Pope got stopped shy of the 20-yard line there.
He's giving his coverage team plenty of time to get down the field. You could see after Jake Pope caught the ball, the defenders were already about 10 yards away from him. It's hard to find out where the blocking pattern is at that point. Nice job by Collins.
A nice high kick. If you can't consistently get it to the end zone, a nice high kick, very similar to a punt, isn't a very effective kickoff. Whitkey checks down to Olawole, and he gets driven out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
Nice read there by Dylan Whitkey. Play action fake, plenty of time, didn't feel comfortable going downfield, no real pressure, and then deciding to go to his outlet, get some yards, get this drive going.
Second down and 4 following that completion. Whitkey 4 of 5, 25 yards in this game. And one of the stories, kind of the untold story here, is the job that this Lee County defense has done on Victor Vinn and Gabe Irvin. We saw them run wild against Valdosta in the semifinals.
And it starts with Barron Hopkins and the way he can come down as a Mike linebacker. But a lot of credit has to start be giving to number 94, Omar White, the freshman inside. When you see Hobson come down, he's coming clean, which means that nose tackle is absorbing 2 of those blocks.
310 can absorb a lot. Whitkey trying to get to the outside, and Willis can't get to him, but Cedric Wynn, the corner, does. His team leading 7th tackle of the game.
This defense playing with a lot of energy now. Offense comes out with the big touchdown. Pulling the ball here is Dylan Whitkey. Just can't get to the edge there. Great pursuit by Jaron Willis. Not letting him get to the outside, able to hit him on the shoes, get him on the shoestrings, and get him down.
So Daniels on the punt, standing at his 8-yard line. And will be downed at the 36. Did a good job of kicking away from McDowell and making sure there was no hop on that punt, so it just kind of deadened into the ground. And that's where Lee County goes on offense. Up a touchdown now for the first time tonight.
Good height on that punt by Daniels, giving his coverage team time to get down and scaring McDowell away from trying to recover that ball. Big drive here if you're Buford. Big playability shown by Magwood down the field.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Buford continues to be plagued by these little penalties, but they add up.
So far, just not that cool, poised, professional way that Buford goes about their business. They are really their worst enemy right now with these penalties.
10 of them for 76 yards in this state championship game. Magwood guns it to the far side, got a man off there, and it's caught at the 20-yard line. David Goodwin, one of their top wide receivers, his first catch of the game, and it's a big one.
Best hands on the team is Goodwin. Just a go route here out on the edge on Ryland Gandy. Good protection, able to step up in the pocket, put some air on it, and nice job by Goodwin. Only 5'10", reaching out and bringing that in.
David Goodwin, big time catch. That's 3 big pass completions by Chauncey Magwood already here in the first 5 minutes of this third quarter. And again, a guy who's quote unquote not really a quarterback, looks like a really good quarterback.
Giving his receivers a chance. That's the best thing about it. He's getting it out, letting them use their speed and run up under the ball. And good protection by the O-line to let him go through his reads.
Second down. Magwood on the run this time, down to the 17-yard line, brings up third down.
Nice job by Tommy Bugles there, coming downhill, getting around the legs of Magwood before he gets going. You can see Bugles reading the hat, sliding his feet. Nice job of him. And Magwood right there looked like he had a little limp as he got up off the ground.
Buford not in this position very often this season. They've won 12 straight since their 28-14 season opening loss to 7A North Cobb. Magwood weaving through the defense, flag out as he comes up a yard short of the first down. And so when you haven't been in that situation a lot, Wayne, you wonder how that team responds. We saw them come back and win a state championship game last year playing from behind. But this year's team hasn't been in that situation often.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the start of the foul. Replay, third down.
And that's some of that learning as a coach that you hope actually happens to you during the season so you can get a feel of that. As you talked about, Buford more used to being in the driver's seat in the game and dictating. Catching a big break there on that 3rd and 16. Magwood trying to get to the outside, and left tackle Owen Green holding on the call.
Meantime, Lee County has won 10 straight since their one and only loss to 7A 5th-ranked Lowndes. Up top, Magwood, and trying to get back to Ferguson. This time he's out of bounds, and now it's 4th down.
Nice job of pushing the middle of that pocket by Alexander and Wyatt and Wilson. Not able to step up into that throw to deliver this ball. You can see the pressure coming with the blitz. Bodies around the legs, trying to use his arm. And when you can't go through your technique in those kind of situations, you're going to overthrow the ball as a quarterback.
43-yard attempt here for Collins to try to make it a 10-point game. Kick is on its way. And it is going to be no good. So Collins misses from 43 yards, and the score remains 21-14.
Nice stop by Buford. Huge in this situation. Keeping this game within a score. Going out, all the momentum in Lee County's favor. Now you have to come out offensively and play mistake-free football, something you haven't been able to do tonight offensively. Get back to Buford ball, pushing people off the line of scrimmage and executing.
Whitkey remains in there at quarterback. Gabe Irvin, no running room. Cedric Wynn, 8 tackles in this game. The corner has been very physical in the run game.
And this is about patience and keeping your poise. This game has been about big plays, so you've kind of gotten away from just taking the 4- and 5-yard play, but that is who you are. This is what that Buford team is. They're about staying in front of the sticks, getting 4 or 5 yards of play, and staying patient.
2nd down and 8. And Irvin, no running room. Quavian Carter coming up from his defensive back position to drop him for a short gain.
And you have to start questioning. A little off read zone, off tackle. 4 or 5 bodies coming downhill to stop the run. You have the question with Buford, similar to Lee County, when are you going to start using that as your advantage? They're playing run blitzes. You got to start going to the air and loosening the middle of this defense up.
Buford still trying to convert their first third down of the game, and Whitkey will not be able to do it. Now they get the first down because that was a ridiculously poor decision to throw the quarterback after he was out of bounds.
Number 2, Anthony McGrady right here. You've done your job, just not sure
I mean,
where your head is at that point.
I mean, you got to know you're out of bounds.
After the play was over, personal foul on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Not just gifting Buford a first down and yardage, but those kind of plays can ignite a little energy in your team. Guy starts throwing your quarterback round. That starts testing your manhood, and you want to go out and start playing harder.
But also field position, because you were going to get the ball back. And you're going to have pretty good field position because they're going to be punting from the 20 or inside the 20. Complete. Bond, who already has a 53-yard touchdown catch. That's a catch and run for the first down until the tackle by Carter.
And what a time for Bond to come alive. Came into this game with only 11 receptions. Has had some nice catches so far, and right here, just taking that quick screen to the outside, getting underneath that tackle's block to pick up that first down.
That's the thing I've learned covering Buford all these years. You can't really look at those stats and say, oh, this kid can't do this or can't. They just haven't had to do it. But trust me, when they get in a big game, they got the capability to do it. And that's Ashton Daniels. I was wondering when they were going to make the switch. And there they do it. Could history repeat itself? Daniels came in off the bench last year to lead Buford from behind in a state championship victory over Warner Robins. And here he is back in the game late in the third quarter.
Nice job by Daniels, patiently letting the blocks happen on those counter tray plays. Sometimes you hit up in there so fast, you don't let the people execute the block, showing a lot of patience to get that 7 yards.
Victor Venn slips a couple of tackles and another. Watch out. There he goes. Touchdown, Buford. That's Clinkscales. C.J. Clinkscales, 5'6".
And all of this started with the big personal foul penalty by Anthony McGrady, throwing the quarterback to the ground. It ended up pulling. Nice job there by the right tackle, coming off T.J. Lowe on the linebacker. What an excellent block. And regardless of which back is in there, this line, when it executes like that, there's a lot of running room out, and great burst of speed there by C.J. Clinkscale.
Mata got moving forward a little bit quicker than he wanted to, but he's still able to kick the PAT, and it's 21-21. So Clinkscales scores the touchdown. We're even again. Let's check in with Nikki.
Hey, you guys. Well, look, when I was talking to Coach App this week about his sideline leaders, he was quick to point out Ashton Daniels. You saw him right there lead that touchdown drive. You saw him holding right there for the PAT. He said, look, he is the guy that everyone gets behind. They love him, and that he leads his team. He keeps everyone even keel and makes sure nobody is too high, too low. He is definitely the guy you want out there leading your team in moments like that. Maybe he's going to help them come from behind again.
And if I'm not mistaken, Nikki, I think that Daniels has been out there for all 3 of their touchdowns. He scored the first touchdown on the quarterback keeper. He threw the touchdown pass to Bond, and then he handed off to Clinkscale. So he's been the quarterback of record, if you will, on all 3 of their touchdowns.
Championship mentality is Daniels. He's been here before. And right now, big answer right there to tie this game by Buford.
Chip shot, kickoff, falls in no man's land, now picked up by Ferguson. He returns it to the middle of the field and dropped at the 23. Georgia Pecan Commission and pecan farmers from Georgia grow a naturally delicious snack that is packed with antioxidants. Generations of Georgians have snacked on homegrown local pecans. Pecans from Georgia, a proud supporter of high school athletics. This is Georgia's nut. Stick around. Into the game, we'll choose our Georgia Pecan Commission play of the game.
We've seen both of these teams with the ability to answer. Let's see if this offense of Lee County can answer once again with the big run.
McDowell is phenomenal. One man to beat, and he tripped up over Magwood, who was blocking for him downfield. The quarterback was blocking for him downfield.
Caleb McDowell right here. Little read zone to the outside, just weaving his way through the traffic. Now the foot race. Magwood getting in front of him, trying to escort him to the end zone, and tripped him up on the long run. But Caleb McDowell, exciting player to watch, dominating this game.
Now Simmons on the carry. He gets 9 on the play. It has been entertaining to watch Magwood and McDowell. What a combination for this Lee County team. And McDowell is more than, or every bit as much as advertised. He's been more than that. He's been better than I expected. Simmons short run. That'll get him the first down, however.
Nice strong run there by Simmons on Jake Pope, the safety, to deliver the blow, spin his hips right here. Jake Pope has him dead to rights. Low center of gravity, driving those feet to pick up that first down. And we've talked about McDowell. Preston Simmons came in this game sitting at 1,000 yards himself, and we haven't even really mentioned his name tonight.
Simmons lined up in the Wildcat to take the direct snap here. Or will it be, who's going to take it? Well, it's going to be McDowell that ends up taking it, and he's going to get thrown for a loss by V.J. Payne.
You want to stop the run, you have to have penetration. Watch this penetration right here by Josiah Wyatt. Pressing the guard back into the backfield, making Caleb McDowell have to bounce that to the outside and just nowhere to go there. V.J. Payne bringing him down for the loss.
Junior outside linebacker offered by Arkansas, USC, Michigan State, and Arizona State. He's got his offer spread out across the country. Inside the final minute of the third quarter. Magwood, what a move. And then slips and goes down before he gets crushed by Malik Spencer.
Up the field once again, Josiah Wyatt. We saw him the last play with the penetration. This time coming off the edge here, sniffing this out. Just missing the tackle, but disrupting it enough to give his teammates time to rally to the ball. 3rd and 12 inside the 20. Dangerous area. You got to be careful with the ball if you're Chauncey Magwood.
157 passing, 57 rushing for Magwood in this game as the third quarter winds to a close. 21-21 as we head to the fourth. Need I say anything else? The dramatic 12 minutes remaining in this game on deck when we get back. Start of the fourth quarter at Center Park Stadium, downtown Atlanta, the campus of Georgia State University. The 6A state final. Buford and Lee County tied at 21. Matt Stewart, Wayne Gandy, Nikki Noto Palmer, John Nelson, Hannah Gooden, the GPB Army spread out across 2 campuses. There at Georgia State, here in our GPB studios. 4th down, fourth quarter starts with a pass to McDowell, and he's out of bounds. And now it's going to be 4th down.
Big decision here, head coach Dean. Fabrizio has to decide. His kicker, Alex Collins, has already missed twice tonight. Are you keeping your offense on the field in this 4th and 3 situation? Has he lost your confidence in trying a field goal in this position?
I think that's the big question right here, and they got Collins back out there. He's missed from 25 and 43. This is 24. And he chips it right on through. Good for that young man right there. Out of all the positions I would not want to play, kicker in the state championship game would be at the top of the list. That's pressure, and Collins just connects from 24 yards and puts Lee County back on top, 24-21.
You're rarely seen, but when called upon, it's a high-pressure job kicking that ball. Nice job of him, because that is big in this game, especially how these defenses have turned up the pressure. It might come down to a field goal as this game winds down.
And with a kicker, you're only as good as your last kicker. Look at poor Younghoe Koo. NFC Pro Bowl team, right?
Yes, it was last week.
His last kick, I mean, he was dead on the money. And so it's the curse of the Falcons. And that thing missed. I don't know how it did. He hit that thing square.
It was almost like the goalpost moved on him. And
it's like nuts. I wouldn't want to be a kicker. But Alex Collins just put Lee County back on top, capping a 7-play, 69-yard drive.
Didn't come up with the 7 points, but the offense drove the ball and keeping the pressure on this Buford team to have to answer.
They roll it along the ground. It takes a nice, convenient hop for Norries, who's one of their fullbacks. He fields it easily at the 34-yard line. And that's where Buford goes on offense. Just 10 seconds into the 4th quarter, but down again by 3 points.
Has Ashton Daniels proven that he's the hot hand, and it seems as though he has. Head coach Brian Appling sending him back out there, as we talked about, the 3 touchdowns he's been involved with. He's the hot hand right now with 11:50 left in this game.
The son of former Georgia Bulldogs wide receiver Juan Daniels, who starred himself at Norcross High School. Dumps it off. Irvin, first down. Moore, 30-yard line, shoved forward and down at the 17. And Gabe Irvin, the Nebraska Cornhusker to be, with the big game.
6'1", 210, nice job. Give him the ball and let him go to work here. Gabe Irvin, so smooth right here. Seems like you can catch him. Nice job along the sideline, using that stiff arm once again to create extra yards. Bright future ahead, headed to Nebraska. Cornhusker's gonna love his ability to run after the catch. Nice pickup for Buford, a nice decision there by Ashton Daniels.
It went for 43 yards. Now Daniels scrambling. Gonna run past the pressure and step out of bounds after picking up the first down. It's hard to imagine that on the depth chart he's the number 2 guy. But sometimes it's Whitkey that's doing this. Tonight, it's Daniels who's doing it.
So much confidence in his ability. Gets to the outside. Jaron Willis is bearing down on him, kind of gave him a hesitation move. Showed a little burst there, not necessarily known for his speed. Nice job of him of taking what the defense gives. And right now is the star of the show for this offense.
Irvin tackled by Carter after a short gain.
Not sure if Irvin on that. Seemed like he tried to bounce it to the outside.
Officials timeout for injury.
May wanted to square his shoulders up and just go north and south, not try to bounce it outside. A lot of room inside on that play when they have an injured Buford Wolves down.
And we'll step aside as they tend to him. Buford has gone 72 yards in 32 seconds. A lot of that, the 43 yards covered by Irvin on that catch and run. And second down and goal from the 6 as we come out of the injury timeout. Daniels throws it away. Heady play by Daniels. Nobody open.
Never seems to be rattled, even with pressure bearing down on him. Nice job recognizing you don't want to lose any yardage and back up and start one of those scrambling ideas where you get out of trouble and put yourself in a tougher situation. Move outside the pocket and throw the ball away.
Yeah, that's what I love most about Ashton Daniels, is his calm under pressure. Never seems to lose his cool. 3rd and goal. Handoff. And now it looks like Buford will set up for a game-tying field goal attempt after that run right into the teeth of the defense by Victor Venn. He just hasn't been able to get going here today compared to last week. I mean, he does have 7 carries for right around 60 yards. It's a high average, but just hasn't had the electrifying and game-breaking runs like he had last week.
Once again, the freshman nose tackle, Omar White, 6'2", 310, eating up space. Just can't get him out of the hole fast enough for Ben to make yards.
Mata from 22 to tie. And he does. And it's 24-24.
And as we said in this game, you want to win championships. You want to have a consistent program. You see 2 teams that are willing to answer the bell of the other team. You punch, I punch. You punch, I punch. And that's how you become a consistent winner. Lee County was able to take the drive down, get 3 on the board. Buford now putting the game right back at even and giving themselves a chance with 10:28 left in the game.
And so much at stake in this game. I mean, these guys have been practicing since July, and conditioning started in June. And with the COVID protocols, it was weird. I mean, practicing in small groups. You never practice in small groups of 4 in football, but that's what they had to do to try to get to this point tonight on December 29th, where they could play for a state championship.
And you imagine that all these players had to show an extreme dedication to do things on their own. Get in the backyard and let the brother or sister throw you the ball or something like that to keep pace and stay in shape. And right now we're in a heavyweight fight.
Kickoff taken at the 27. That's Willis again, and he's dropped at the 40. So on sheer strength alone, he's able to pick up 13 yards with about 7 guys trying to get him on the ground.
And Willis fielded the ball, got upfield, but the Caleb McDowell effect is still winning. You get the ball at the 40. My time with the New Orleans Saints, I played with a return man named Michael Lewis. And offensively, we loved that most of the time we took the field, we were always up at the 35 because they would try to not kick him the ball. And that's the kind of pressure that Caleb McDowell puts on your kickoff team.
McDowell gets about 4.5. And you math teachers out there, you can teach the kids. It's just math. Do the probabilities and the numbers. When you start a drive on the 35 compared to starting the drive on the 25 and the 15, and how your scoring ratios change dramatically with your starting position on the field.
Still coming off the ball is this offensive line playing in a physical way. It seems that as Lee County decides to run the ball, they've been having consistent success. And we can't talk enough about Chauncey Magwood throwing the ball here tonight in the state championship.
I love him.
Just a three-step drop, knows where he wants to go with the ball, and throwing the ball in a position that only his receiver can come up with the catch.
He's going to Kentucky as a wide receiver, but I tell you what, they get in a pinch.
He might find himself in one of those Taysom Hill situations, playing a lot of different positions offensively.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time with the Wildcats. It's happened before. Simmons on the carry, up to the 37-yard line. VJ Payne coming up there from the linebacker spot to help get him on the ground. Norrie's in there on that tackle as well.
No better drive for Lee County right now than to go on one of those 5-6-minute drives and punch it in and really put that pressure on Buford to do something with less time on the clock.
Flea flicker. Magwood in trouble, goes down. Quarterback sack for Norries back at the 47-yard line.
Nate Norries and this Buford defense known for their hustle. Little flea flicker, route not developing down the field. Caleb McDowell couldn't keep Norris from getting to the quarterback, feeling the pressure. And this is all about effort right here and want to get the quarterback down.
Now it's 3rd and 15 after the quarterback sack by Norris. Magwood going to try to get it back, come up a little bit short at the 40-yard line, about 3 yards short after a pickup of 12 on the play. So Wayne Gandy, you're punting here, right?
Quarterback draw all the way in this situation. With 8 minutes left on the clock, you want to punt this ball and start playing the field position game, especially the way that your defense is playing. You imagine if you can get a 3 and out and they punt that ball the way that Caleb McDowell scares people, you're probably going to get the ball at the 50.
First punt of the game for Lee County from Hurst, and he drops it inside the 5-yard line. Just how you scripted it. And that's exactly what you wanted from Wyatt Hurst, a 38-yard kick that pins Buford deep at their 2-yard line. Respect, it's more than a word in the U.S. Army. Respect is earned every day. Now, in addition to earning respect, you may qualify for more. Information at GoArmy.com. Bonus or 800 U.S. Army, paid for by the U.S. Army.
Nice punt by Hurst. Smart play there by Luke Addison, not trying to recover the ball. Dove on the ground and knocked it out and put this Buford offense in a bind on his 2-yard line.
Irvin gets 2. The big fella, freshman White, Omar White. Can you just imagine what Omar White, 315, as a 9th grader is going to look like 4 years from now?
Physical. First position I ever played was nose tackle. I was nowhere near. They thought I was big at 230 pounds. 315 is White and playing like a man in the middle.
2nd down and 8. Oh my goodness. Swallowed up for a loss back at the 1-yard line. Jawan Bailey, the Sam linebacker.
Haven't really talked about Jawan Bailey a lot tonight. One of those big outside Sam linebackers, 5'11", 250, and right there, that's just grown man weight room strength by Mr. Bailey. And this is what you have to imagine that Dean Fabrizio had in mind when he punted this ball, the way his defense has been rallying in this second half.
They spotted the ball at the 2 with forward motion. And a timeout has been called.
Timeout. Buford, that's their first.
So Buford uses their first timeout of the second half. We'll be back in a moment.
Timeout.
6:11 left in regulation. We're tied at 24. Lee County and Buford, 1 and 2 in the 6A rankings pretty much the entire season. And after 42 minutes, we're still no closer to deciding the champion. Third down here following the Buford timeout. Daniel's going to throw out of his own end zone, and the ball got hit at the line of scrimmage.
Nice job. Got to get this ball out of the end zone. Nice job by Ashton Daniels getting set up and getting rid of the ball. Coming on the late blitz there is Carter, number 11. Just getting a fingertip on it to knock it down, and Lee County is in business here.
And Daniels punting out of the back of his own end zone. We have a flag before the ball is snapped. But going back to that play, 6'4" safety can jump up and make that play.
6'4", 205 junior.
Now, this is a substitution penalty, but who is it on?
Illegal substitution on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
Well, that buys you a little bit more space to punt.
Which is a big deal against this special teams that has 5 block punts on the season. Very dangerous right here. Ashton Daniels has to get this ball off.
He does. Not a long kick, but it takes a great bounce. That is a 15-yard roll at the end of that kick. So didn't go as far in the air as he would have liked, but by the time they count the roll, it's 52 yards.
Good job, good operation. Snap, get the ball out, and that whenever you're standing in the end zone as a punter, be ready for the pressure. If you're Lee County, good job on defense, giving you offense the opportunity and time to operate. They don't have to feel like they're being rushed. They got 3 timeouts and 5:55 to take the trophy home.
Last 3 drives, a punt, 24-yard missed field goal. No, I'm sorry, a 43-yard no field goal, 24-yard made field goal, and a punt. That's the correct sequence. McDowell dropped, but a flag comes out. So let's check that flag.
Face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down. First down.
Once again, positive play by Buford. Erased with a penalty. Couldn't really see who got their hands up in the face. But just not fundamentally sound on the edge and beating themselves still late in this game.
Ball at the 50. Simmons picks up 2 yards on the play. Josiah Wyatt making that tackle for the Wolves.
Josiah Wyatt has had a nice game, especially against the run inside, dropping down, giving a lot of weight. Only listed at 215. This Lee County offensive line averages about 280 across the board. But he's keeping his shoulders down and slicing through those zone blocks.
And you saw number 55, Quayshawn Sapp. He's the highest rated prospect on that offensive line. McDowell trying to get outside, and a good job of pursuit. Wansley there to help get him on the ground. And now it's going to be 3rd down.
Matthew Alexander didn't get the credit for the tackle, but working down the line for that nose tackle position, just not giving McDowell any room to cut that back. You saw him kept looking for a lane.
There was none.
And there was no lane to get into.
3rd down and 2.
Back in a wildcat situation with Simmons.
And they hand off to Bailey, the linebacker who lined up. And he gets the handoff in the first down. So they had Simmons and they had McDowell both there to confuse who was going to take the snap. Snap goes to McDowell. He hands off to Bailey on the misdirection.
Because sure, that's what you do. You put two of your running backs back there and both of them clap, and then you turn around and give it to your defensive end to pick up a big first down at this point in the game. Nice job of Bailey auditioning for a little more fullback in his career.
1st and 10 at the 38. Got great balance. Couldn't get him on the ground. Magwood, quarterback keeper, gets tripped up, doesn't go very far on the play. VJ Payne on that tackle.
Nice job by 33, Nate Norris. Once again, in the second half, he started making some plays consistently in the backfield, playing off of that end position, getting great penetration to disrupt this Lee County run game.
Some heavy breathing going on out there right now, man. They've expended a lot of energy. And now we're under 3.5 to go. Magwood guns it here to the near side. It is caught at the 26 for a first down, and that's their big tight end, Tyrus Washington, a 6'3", 225 junior offered by Cincinnati, Ole Miss, and Boston College.
Play action fake. Nice poise to deliver this ball by Magwood. Just impressing as this game has gone on, throwing the ball once again, delivering the ball. That's a long pass out there on that out to Washington and throwing it in a situation that only Washington can come down with it.
I was hoping to get a good look at him tonight. That was a nice catch. McDowell gets a yard on the play.
Matthew Alexander again, the senior inside the UCF 3-star, pushing the pocket. Not letting any run lanes come available for Caleb McDowell.
Under 3 to go. Lee County has all 3 timeouts remaining. Buford has 2. McDowell somehow spins forward and gets 4 or 5 on the play.
And if you're Lee County, you're very happy with letting this clock run. McDowell, known for his elusiveness right there, running between the tackles, working, trying to take this trophy back to Leesburg, Georgia.
3 times they've had scoring opportunities, legitimate scoring opportunities that didn't amount to points. Now it's 3rd down and 4. Clock right at 2 minutes, and Magwood gonna run for the first down. He's gonna run for the touchdown. Lee County.
Execution. When you've watched this game tonight, on the big plays is premium execution here. A little jet action by McDowell to draw the defense, counter action to the right. Patience here, getting behind that big offensive line. Owen Green, the left tackle, pulling on the counter action, and a walk-in for Chauncey Magwood.
PAT is perfect. Lee County has a touchdown lead with 1:58 to go.
Chauncey Magwood, a big night. We know the kind of athlete he is, but tonight from the quarterback position, truly showing you what a dual threat quarterback looks like. Some perfect passes to extend some drives, big passes to score, and right there, putting his team in a situation with the way their defense is playing. Only 158 for this Buford offense to work with.
He may have had some physical issues with the shoulder early in the season that inhibited his passing ability, but not tonight. 9 of 11 passing for 183 and a touchdown. 17 carries for 83 yards and a touchdown.
I think that count was him counting up the rings, the jury he will have when he leaves to Kentucky.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he was counting as that kick goes out of bounds. So Buford's going to get the ball at the 35 with 1:58 to go.
Free kick out of bounds on a kicking team.
Will this be the game-winning touchdown?
35-yard line.
Defense reacting to McDowell on the jet action counter tray to the right, and just a walk in there for Magwood.
These guys are so fast. By the time they get to the end zone, they're trotting. It's been fun to watch. Does Buford have another last-minute rally left in him? Daniels did it last year against Warner Robins. And nice catch at the 40-yard line by Wansley, and then steps out of bounds at about the 44, I think is where they're going to spot it.
Amari Wansley, known for his safety ability right there, stretching out to come up with that ball to get this drive going, and that's always a big key when you start that 2-minute drive. That first play, some positive results is what you're looking for.
2nd down and 1. Irvin gets the first down. Clock will run. Carter made the tackle. Well, the clock stopped to move the chains. Buford has 2 timeouts remaining here. It would be smart to hold on to them as long as you can.
No need to panic if you're Buford. Plenty of time. You got 2 timeouts if you get in trouble.
Daniels going to step out of bounds, take a loss on the play. Nobody open downfield. You know, one of the things that Lee County has done so well is take Jake Pope out of the passing game. Only 1 catch for 7 yards for Pope tonight. He's their leading receiver.
Not a big pass team. When Jake Pope has an effect, this offense really opens up. Great time for him to get behind this secondary and come up with a big catch.
2nd and 11, low snap. Daniels stands in there, takes a big hit, and delivers a strike to Bond. A couple of yards short of the first down, but Daniels stood in there and took the punishment, still got the ball downfield.
Anything above a minute, you have time to work the ball down the field, pressure up the middle right in his face, taking the hit from Eric Sanders and delivering a strikeout on the edge. Nice route there by Bond.
3rd down and 2. Daniels, first down throw. Wansley, another big catch, and got out of bounds to stop the clock. They're at the 40-yard line.
Little drag route there by Wansley, absorbing the hit of Anthony McGrady, the will linebacker, able to keep his balance and kept his head and got out of bounds, saving your team a timeout and some time on the clock.
Timeout, Lee County. That's their first.
So Lee County has 2 timeouts remaining. Buford 40 yards away from getting the touchdown they'll need to tie this game and maybe send it to overtime.
You hit on it earlier, Matt. Ashton Daniels seems right at home in this situation. He doesn't seem to be phased. He seems to know exactly where he wants to go with the ball, and he's willing to pay the price to deliver it.
Yeah, that's one of the extraordinary things about watching Ashton Daniels now for the last 2 seasons in state championship games. Last year when he led them to victory against Warner Robins. This year he's trying to lead them from behind against Lee County. Is the game moves slow for him. I mean, players are flying all around. They're coming right at his grill, and he's moving. He's not moving slow, but you can see that he is in no way panicked with the situation.
And even with the quarterback change, Dylan Whitkey getting the starts, he having to share time. You see nothing about his game that says he hasn't been preparing for this moment right here.
Impressive young man. 1st and 10 from the 40. Heavy rush, gets rid of it. Oh, and it's almost intercepted. Jerron Willis had a shot at that thing as he was trying to get it out there to Vin.
Juwan Bailey once again with the pressure right in his face on the blitz, going unblocked. Offensive lineman just not checking for Bailey. He's standing right at the line of scrimmage in the middle. Just too much pressure, and nice job of Ashton Daniels of getting rid of that ball and saving those yards.
2nd down and 10. Irvin in the backfield. Daniels running out of real estate, throwing off his back foot, and it is caught in the middle of the field by Wansley at the 23-yard line, 24. Wayne, how did he find him?
Moving at a speed as though he had given up on the play is Daniels, as he kind of just trotted outside of the pocket, buying time, throwing the ball back in the middle of the field, which is always dangerous.
Gabe Irvin coming to the wide side, and he crashes down. As we go under a minute, I think Buford will use a timeout here, and they do. But just a spectacular play on 2 fronts. Number 1.
Timeout. Buford. That's their 2nd.
The calmness of Daniels on that rollout, and then number 2 for Wansley to come back on the play and find the open spot in the field.
Amari Wansley, not the big name offensively for this Buford team, but what a great time to come alive and become that go-to guy. And Ashton Daniels, cool, collected, confident, and that confidence seems to be permeated throughout his receiving corps. Everybody seems to be moving like, oh no, we're about to tie this game up, and that's what you want to see. Still have a timeout. You would like for Gabe Irvin on that run to really press and got out of bounds. He had time to square his shoulder and get out of bounds right there, looking for the big play down the field. Really would have saved some time, but look at Daniels just out for a summer walk.
Throwing back across his body, and Wansley came back being covered by the 4-star safety, Willis. 2nd down and 2. Ball is at the 16-yard line.
One timeout for Buford, which gives Daniels the ability to throw this ball anywhere on the field.
Going for the end zone, got a man out there. Touchdown, Buford. Isaiah Bond with his 2nd touchdown catch of the game. A 16-yarder, and Buford 1 point away from tying it.
So you say you want to win 13 state championships in 20 years. This is the kind of mentality you have to have if you want to do that. Ashton Daniels drifting back, throwing a strike to Isaiah Bond.
Timeout. Lee County. That's their 2nd.
That whole drive seems to be based upon Ashton Daniels' confidence.
Yep.
Everyone seems to be relaxed, that we've been here before. Watch how he drifts back to buy some time and then unloads a dime on the corner route.
It was like a summer passing drill. No sweat.
Isaiah Bond with the corner route. Plenty of field leaving for his quarterback to deliver that ball.
And interesting, Lee County calls timeout before this PAT.
You imagine Coach Fabrizio setting up, trying to block this extra point. This team is good at blocking punts and field goals. You expect they're going to go all out to try to disrupt this extra point for Buford.
Well, as you mentioned, they have been experts in blocking kicks this year. They've lined up in the swinging gate play here. And Ashton Daniels is the holder, remember that. And now they're going to get set, and Mata comes on. Huge PAT right here. Mata puts it through, and Lee County came flying off the edge. I mean, man, they were flying through the air like Superman trying to block that thing, and it's 31-31.
All-out effort on their part to try to get to this ball. Not want to see overtime against this caliber of team. And whew, haven't we been blessed tonight with a great game, two great teams playing at high levels.
And Daniels 6 of 7 for 58 yards on that drive. A junior who subs in. He's the number 2 quarterback. And what a job by Daniels. Nothing second string about him at all. Join us tomorrow. 3 more games to wrap up the 2020 Georgia High School football season. Starts at noon, the 3A state championship game, Pierce County and Oconee County. Then 5A, Cartersville and Warner Robins. And then in 7A, it's Grayson and Collins Hill. You talk about star power in that last game. It's basically
big time football in Georgia.
That's basically a freshman college football all-star game right there. But that's tomorrow. Here, we may be headed to overtime. Still 46 seconds left in regulation. Retreating to the 11 to get it. Ferguson stopped at the 20.
This time Buford not willing to just give Lee County the great field position, kicking it off, pinning them deep on their side of the field.
Let's check in with Nikki.
Down here on the Buford sideline, you'll notice he doesn't have a lot of emotion. He's calm, cool, and collected. He said, look, when I was playing in high school, we didn't get to speak on the bus. He said, when I got here, thanks to Coach Wood, Coach Simpson, he lets those kids stay loose. He's like, I don't want my kids tight. I want it loose and fun. And that's exactly what you're seeing on the sideline. The players, they're confident. They're ready for this overtime.
Wow. Lee County just ready for overtime, too. They take a knee here. I found that to be a little bit interesting. I thought they might run a few plays given the opportunity, but they're going to take this thing right to OT.
And I see Caleb McDowell leaving the field. He was stretching, and it was interesting on the kickoff that he wasn't back. Looks like maybe he could be cramping late in this game. How that plays out in overtime, we shall see.
Well, he's not out there obviously right now. There he is on the sideline. We're going to try to get him some. Is that some pickle juice they got?
No.
I'm joking. I'm only joking.
Do you have a cup right now? That's.
Yeah, they're going to try to get him flexed out, stretched out. They're going to need him. We're going to overtime. So here's a look at the overtime rules. They're different from college football if you're not familiar with the high school football overtime rules. Just as in college, coin toss determines the possession of the first extra period. Each team gets a possession. It's kind of like a baseball inning. And we keep continuing that process until there is a winner. It's not sudden death. Extra period begins at the 15-yard line. Each team given a chance to score a touchdown or a field goal. You can pick up a first down since it starts at the 15. And then after the second overtime period, once we get into the third extra period, if we get that far, teams must try a 2-point PAT and not the single 1-point kick PAT. Dean Fabrizio and Brian Appling out there. Preston Simmons
right, guys.
out
You
there.
get one timeout per period, all right? One timeout per period. I'm going to flip the coin. It's to go. You can choose to go offense, defense, or choose it in the field, all right?
It's
Lee
Caleb
County,
Archer,
you're
the center,
visitors.
too.
Heads. This is tails. All right, I'm going to let it hit the ground. Want heads or tails? Tails is the call. It is tails. Lee County has elected to go on defense. Buford, 1st and 10.
Well, that's the typical decision right there. When you win the toss, you want to start on defense first so you know what you need when you go on offense in the bottom half of the inning or frame, if you will. You'll know then, do you got to score a touchdown? Do you need a field goal to win?
And when you play the aggressive defense, especially that Lee County plays, you even take the field imagining yourself getting a turnover, coming up with a ball, scripting the ball. We said that kicking might show his head in this game. We will see as this game plays out. But what a great matchup. Stars shining tonight, and Ashton Daniels adding his name to that list, bringing his team back, putting them in this situation to try to win this game in overtime.
So Buford on offense first. You heard John Nelson in the tailgate show say that the Maxwell computer projections had this game on a virtual toss-up, 0.4 of a point separating the two teams. So here we go. We need overtime to decide it. And Ashton Daniels takes a loss. Baron Hobson with the linebacker name from birth. When you're called Baron Hobson, you're going to be a middle linebacker, aren't you?
Once again, playing downhill, meeting Ashton Daniels on his side of the ball. And a big play to start this overtime. Tackle for a loss. One of the keys to this defense is to try to get Buford to have to throw the ball, and that's how you start the overtime period.
Third straight year here in the state finals, we've had at least one overtime game. Daniels pump fake. Floating out to the right, throwing. That's Jake Pope. Second catch of the game comes at the 10-yard line. Let's see if they spot him at the 10 or the 11. Pope is just a fun player to watch. 16 offers, including Georgia Tech, South Carolina, and Indiana.
Coming across the field, buying time is Daniels, and once again, there goes that man, Baron Hobson. As we talked about, not just a downhill linebacker, he has the speed to play sideline to sideline as well.
3rd down and 6. Daniels throws it open, but Slingscales goes down making the catch. And so now it's at the 9. Do you bring Mata on here for the field goal? I think you have to, don't you?
You have to give your team a chance, give your defense a chance in this situation. No other option than to put 3 points on the board with Mata. Nice pressure there by Jaron Willis off the corner. We've said that a lot tonight. Just not giving Ashton Daniels time or Clinkscale time to get down the sideline.
This is off a little bit to the right from the right hash. Alejandro Mata, who has a 10th grader, kicked at Lee County. A chance to put his former school behind here in overtime. Daniels gets it down. Kick is up, and it is good. 25-yard field goal for Alejandro Mata. His second field goal of the night, and it puts Buford on top 34-31 here in overtime.
Lee County electing to play defense. In this situation, Coach Fabrizio, this is what you want. Now you know how the table is set. First and foremost, if you Chauncey Magwood, you want to make sure you get a couple of yards, set up a field goal attempt a little easier, and then you try to find the end zone.
I don't think McDowell is on the field. I believe that Simmons lined up behind Magwood. No, it is McDowell, pardon me. Handoff McDowell, spin move. 7 guys put a helmet on him.
All-out effort by the Buford Wolves. You've seen enough of the damage that he can pull, and he just doesn't seem comfortable.
No, I think he might have to come out here.
He just doesn't seem comfortable. We saw him get some electrolytes here. Long season, a small back, and gang tackling there by Buford.
He stays in. Magwood scrambling. Now he's running. Dropped at the 10-yard line. And Matthew Alexander, how many times have we called his name tonight, makes the tackle, and now it's 3rd down.
Nice job by Aubrey Smith, that linebacker, staying upfield, which wouldn't allow Magwood to get out the pocket.
And that's Alexander who's down. I believe he's cramping. These guys are exhausted. Yep, they're looking at that left calf muscle. Good sign that he's cramping. A good sign. I mean, it's good that it's not anything worse than that. It's painful for him right now. But a 3rd down and 5 coming up. What a battle between these two teams. These young men giving all-out effort to the point of sheer exhaustion.
Has that feel of those old school boxing matches where the air conditioner is broke in the arena.
Yeah.
And it's the 15th round. The scorecard is even, and what do? You just have to go on pure guts right now for some of these players.
Becomes a war of attrition. And we're winding down to the end here in first overtime. And that's a big loss to have the big fella, the commit, the signee to UCF, Central Florida, to have to come off the field here on this big 3rd down play. That's a big man that you're losing in the middle of that defensive line right now.
It's been the rock in the middle, eating up that inside, not allowing Caleb McDowell to cut back on a lot of those runs.
And he split up top of your screen. He split out as a wide receiver here. I think they're going to have to burn a timeout.
Please have the Buford band quit playing.
Well, there you go.
I never knew that would work. I never knew I could go over and ask the referee to make the band stop playing. Good catch there by Chauncey Magwood.
Here we go. 3rd down and 5, game on the line. Magwood running. And he pushes forward and gets the 1st down. What a huge play by Chauncey Magwood. And it's 1st and goal to go for Lee County.
Magwood gets the credit, but the center, 63, Caleb Hall, decided, I'm going to take my quarterback on a little stroll. Grabbed him from the back and pulled him forward 3 yards.
McDowell didn't get there. Did he fumble? He fumbled. If Buford has it, Buford's the state champion. Buford says they have it. The celebration has begun. McDowell fumbles inside the 5-yard line.
Buford has recovered the fumble.
And the Buford Wolves are the state champions again. Back to back, and lucky number 13 for Buford.
And sadly, we talked about Caleb McDowell battling cramp issues. He was trying to fight his way into the end zone. And you can see the Buford Wolves just ripping at the ball, and you just feel sad for that young man for the effect he had in this game. But the celebration begins in Buford, Georgia. Sometimes we forget the excitement of the youth. If you look at these smiles right now.
6A state champions. Buford has won a state championship at every level from 1 to 6. And here is the game-ending play.
Wildcat situation.
There it is.
McDowell, the ball is out right there.
Pope was the guy that separated him from the ball. Jake Pope from that safety position came up and hit him, and he dropped the ball. And Buford recovered and wins the state championship, and the excruciating pain and disappointment for Caleb McDowell as he sobs on the field.
All the great things that he did in the game, we hope he can reflect on those. But right now, there is no comforting when an athlete is in that situation. It takes a minute. No matter where he goes, that's going to be in his spirit for a while. But he has been an exciting player, and the main reason this team was put in this position to try to win a championship.
Well, you hate to see that, but in these situations, quite often, it comes down to a play that was made or wasn't. And in this case, it was a fumble by the star, Caleb McDowell, who's going to have many great days ahead of him at the University of South Carolina. But a disappointing finish to the season for Lee County as the Buford Wolves celebrate their 13th overall state championship and their 12th in the last 20 years. Just amazing. As we take a look at the Georgia Pecan Commission play of the game, and it's the touchdown pass from